My name is Kunda Dixit. I'm a Nepali editor and publisher, but very few people know that I actually started out as a scientist. My first master's degree is in microbiology, and my thesis was on biogas technology and alternate energy for third world countries. So I have a science background and an environmental science background, which has made me always very interested in that subject. And in my previous jobs, I have trained journalists in writing on environmental issues and development issues, the links between environment, development, politics, and so forth. And my book, Dateline Earth, Journalism as if the Planet Mattered, which came out in 1997, and the new edition this year, deals with this, the tricks of the trade and how to write about these extremely complex issues with empathy and with a different approach. Now, the problem is, I was only teaching and writing books about these issues, but now, having come back to Nepal and being the editor of a paper, I have to put it into practice. And it is much more difficult. You know, it's very easy to tell people how to do it, but to do it yourself is much more difficult. So I'm grappling with that at the moment. And a new thing has been added to it, not just development, but conflict. My country went through a war for 10 years. And I've had to actually unlearn what I learned in journalism school, what they taught us in journalism school about how to cover conflicts. I had to move beyond the body bags and counting, bodies after a battle. War is much more than a series of battles. And especially we forget about the suffering of civilians and non-combatants. And so back home in Nepal after the war ended, I have come out with a trilogy of photo books on how the war affected civilians, and that's out. So I would say I'm, journalists are all generalists. We know a little bit about everything and not enough about anything. So I know a little bit about a lot. So science, conflict, climate, environment. But I would like to say maybe my specialization would be looking at the political and economic precursors to environmental crises and conflict. And sometimes they're actually related.